Hello, survivors, and welcome back to another episode of Will You Survive?
The podcast.
Today I am your host. I'm Alex, and I'm joined by my co-hosts.
I'm Eric.
And I am TJ.
Can I derail this right away?
How are you going to derail it?
When people ask me my name, I'm a very indecisive person. And it's not that I'm trying to lie. It's that I genuinely, for a brief second, forget my name. And I usually go, and then I'll go, I'm Eric. And multiple times I've had people go, oh, nice to meet you, Merrick.
Eric.
Yeah, when I'm trying to say I'm Eric or Eric.
Eric.
All the time I've gotten, oh, nice to meet you, Merrick. A lot, and I don't have it in me to correct them.
Well,
anyways.
That's why I go with TJ.
Today we're going to be talking about the movie Cell. This one comes from the year 2016, starring John Cusack and Samuel L. Jackson. It was, I thought it was pretty enjoyable. There was some goofiness to it, but I read a little deep into the fandom, and it made it sound so much cooler reading the fandom.
What year is this supposed to take place?
Ooh, that's a good question.
I seen a
this is
Samsung Galaxy S3.
Yeah, this is a 2016 movie.
Wow.
This looked like an early 2000s movie.
And
The whole
flip
vibe was
phones
early
and,
2000s.
There were
Bluetooth.
flip phones, weren't there? Although
He used a payphone.
Yeah.
that's right,
I haven't seen a payphone in freaking
I
years.
lost
dude.
juice.
Yeah, who says that? This
Oh,
is like such an
and-
early 2000s
And
movie.
his charger for his phone was like connected to the block. Do you remember when chargers were connected, like all one thing? Like that hasn't
I
been
remember.
a thing for forever.
I remember.
Some old stuff.
So, for those of you who, by some chance, haven't seen this, let me do a quick little storyline. When a strange signal pulsates through all cell phone networks worldwide, it starts a murderous epidemic of epic proportions when users become bloodthirsty creatures, and a group of people in New England are among the survivors to deal with the ensuing chaos after. Pretty good. I think we'll start off right away. This format, what we're going to do is I will read the question that I have for you guys, and you're both free to answer. We'll keep it a little organized, so I'll switch back and forth. We'll start off with Eric first, and then TJ, you give me your answer, and we'll give you award points accordingly.
TJ, I just want you to know, right off the bat, I was such a good student, and this was nothing but homework that Alex gave us. You're fucked.
I literally just held up my notebook.
You are absolutely cooked, my man. You're done.
I love this. I love the confidence from both of you.
I don't even remember the first question.
I think it's going to be a good episode.
The first
from
question
that comment right there
is avoid technology. The signal that
That's
turns
right.
people into killers is broadcast through cell phones. You need to avoid using cell phones or other technology that may transmit the signal. What measures would you take in an unknown apocalyptic scenario where technology may be compromised?
So the purpose of this question is we're going to bring this not only from the movie Cell, which you can answer in that, but this would apply to any apocalyptic scenario. So what measures would you take in any unknown apocalyptic scenario where technology may be compromised?
So, judging off of his experience, our main character, his name being
God, I have it right here.
Mr. John.
Yeah, John Cusack. Clay.
So, based off of Clay's experience, he caught on pretty quickly that it was the cell phones. Honestly, I think they played with that way too much. Him and Samuel Jackson's character with the that when they first walk into the apartment and the phone, he like picks up the phone and like holds it kind of up to his ear. He tests it way too much. For when you saw what it did, that the signal just made you go crazy right away, he tested it way too much. I think get a pair of earplugs, to be honest. Something to try and block out the sound, not completely, but at least so that like I'd worry about a speakerphone.
Well, but what I mean is bring this outside of just this movie, okay? Yeah, in this movie, I agree with that answer. If you caught on that fast, you would think that you would take measures that fast,
Yeah.
right? Because he caught on in the airport.
Kind of like in Bird Box, how they blinded themselves.
Yeah, like they found out real quick, and they took measures real quick. I get what you're saying. Now let's take it outside of that specific scenario and any apocalyptic scenario where technology is compromised. It's not just the fact that it's let's not necessarily say it's deadly to you, but it's dangerous to use. Enemies are tracking it. Yeah. Enemies are tracking it. Cell phones have gone down because a nuclear blast has occurred. You have what are some other major earthquake, and cell phones are disrupted. What measures do you take in that scenario to communicate without relying on that technology?
I mean, truth be told, you have to go to things like radios, like shortwave radios, or like two-way walkie-talkies, things that aren't so connected to the internet. And then anything else, unless you know computers really well enough to protect yourself, you might as well just destroy them. Why keep it around? If it's that compromised that your life is in danger by using it, get rid of it.
Yep.
Why? You don't need your phone anymore. You don't need your computer anymore. Get rid of it.
Okay. DJ, what do you do in any apocalyptic scenario?
I think, yeah, radios was a good idea. I was thinking about that. I was also thinking about destroying, if it's of harm to you, why not get rid of it? I was also thinking of distancing myself from it. Right here I wrote, to the boonies I go is the answer to the question. I'm going away. I'm out of there. You can go to our Pinterest, get that bug out bag, baby. I'm gone. I'm like getting out, boonies, distancing myself from all technology, making some sort of, fort, chilling.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, yeah, becoming a recluse, just running off into a forest somewhere is probably your best bet. Trying to just go off the grid.
Freaking Bill from Last of Us. I'm gonna.
This is really consistent with you guys, all of us, all three of us, because we've all
houseboat.
We've all said, you're right.
That's where I'm going. I'm going to the houseboat.
The last episode,
houseboat.
We just released that video. Why a houseboat is the answer.
Because it's just the best.
We've also talked about going to islands. We've talked about going to the mountains. So all of these things, you guys are consistent in your answer. I give credit for that. Okay.
Thank you.
So the second question, stay mobile. The survivors in Cell are constantly on the move to avoid large groups of phoners, people affected by the signal. Staying mobile reduces your chances of being overwhelmed. How would staying mobile help keep you safe? And what kind of planning would you need to make? What kind of planning would you need to make to stay safe while mobile in any apocalyptic scenario? You don't have to stay within the movie to answer the questions.
You want to start this one, TJ?
Yeah. Please alternate.
Yes, I want to say stay mobile until you're in a place of like security. You don't want to keep on moving the whole time because that offers up like new risks. Everything that you're walking into is a question. You don't know nothing about anything. Hey, I got to go to that building over there. Oh wait, there could be things in there. Right? It's all an unknown.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually something they mentioned. Never mind, I completely lost my train of thought. Go on. I had something, and then it just left me.
And for that, okay, this is going to be my new drinking game. Every time Eric loses his train of thought, I have to take a drink.
You're going to be trashed.
Might as well just go grab the bottle.
Yeah.
That's why I filled up the glass so much.
Ways to I'm gonna stay within the movie. Ways to stay safe and mobile in this universe is 1, a quiet vehicle. Don't go driving around on a fucking motorcycle.
What were they thinking?
The loudest possible vehicle, and just
that guy
be
was
surprised
also zooming
when you get messed up.
Overrun.
Yeah, he was zooming too. He went halfway down the street before he turned around, and he got him and his girl killed.
Right.
If you're gonna cycle, fucking bicycle, do that. That's quiet.
Tesla.
I think, a Tesla would be kind of good. But then again, it's all it's more technology than car. So I'd be kind of scared to. But
okay,
that's true. What if it starts emitting the signal?
Or on foot?
This movie was
always
also
good
in fucking 2003. Apparently.
Be aware of your surroundings. Stay away from cities.
Aware of your surroundings. Stay away from cities, and always have a go bag. Should have everything you need in it. That's why if you have it, it's easier to stay mobile. You don't gotta go searching through stuff and hold up places. If you don't, stay mobile is the best thing to do.
So I get that they were staying mobile because they were in a bad spot.
Mm-hmm.
They were it looked like they were kind of in the outskirts of a city, and I think you need to try to get away from that. But they did break a rule that we kind of hold firmly, which is to hunker down. Especially in that first apartment they were in, none of the phoners knew where they were. There was that close call where that girl was just staring out the window and almost got seen.
Like I said, stay mobile until you get it to a place of like security.
Well, I mean, they were there right away.
Yeah.
The only reason they were mobile was because he wanted to go find his son.
Right.
That was the
They
only
were
reason.
mobile up till the point that they got to the apartment, and then they were like, "Let's keep going." That doesn't make any sense.
Right. Right.
Yeah, I don't think staying mobile in this movie is a good idea at all. Because I think of it the same way I think of a zombie apocalypse. You don't want to be on the streets going unless you have a reason, like you're trying to get somewhere in particular, which he was, but I don't know.
He was in a place of security. It's his apartment building. He knows the layout. He knows, like, he has all his stuff in his house. You know, he what's better than that? You can lock that place down, and now, you know, it's not like they'll know who you are. Just destroy all your phones and stuff. They're not going to come get you.
Yeah, I think you just need better. If you are going to be mobile, they needed better weapons than what they had.
A bat,
but these are tough because these aren't just dumb zombies who are just trying to eat you. These aren't
even zombies. These are people.
They're people with a hive mind.
I think it counts as infected.
Exactly.
It's not even like 28 days later where they're just brutally trying to mutilate you. I mean, these guys were, but these guys would use weapons. They would use bats or what were some other things we saw?
I seen a plunger.
They were using weapons.
They had all kinds of shit in their hands.
This is way more advanced, so it kind of leads me to one question. Do we think these things would eventually be able to drive?
I think if they were in a car when they went freako, I think
like, what if they just went to run over? What if they were just like trying to run over a bunch of people?
I think they would, but they would all crash their cars instantly.
True.
It would be to cause as much chaos as possible.
Well, so were these things also trying to unalive themselves? Because remember that girl in the airport?
Smashing her head into the wall?
Yeah. Like, that was very much like, do you guys remember The Happening?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of like that, but it was weird because I think that's the only one we saw that mutilated themselves.
It could be like the virus gets in you, so once it gets in you, it like tries to dumb you down a little bit.
But we never saw that happen with any of the others. It was just her.
Inconsistent.
Well, I mean, that's
this
true,
movie
but
was a 4 out of 10 in my eyes.
I don't think it has to be consistent. If I'm going to say, you know, there were a lot of, if I may, there were a lot of political and social statements being made in this movie. A lot of which I think the majority of our survivors who listen would agree with. We've all seen an uptick in society far too reliant on the phones, right? One of the things that I think of is there's very few of us, I think for me, when I would go to Sequoia's and you don't have access to cell phone, your cell phone's dead. There's no signal up there. It's irrelevant to even try. So you're cut off. And you're back to nature and you're walking around in the dirt and stuff like that. I love that. And I've realized that a lot of people younger than me who would go up there would freak the F out. Like, they hated being away from their phones. And they would go there for 2 days, maybe, you know, 1 night, 2 days, 3 days, 2 nights. But the rest of us were there 6 days, you know, 6 days, 5 nights, or 7 days, some people. And it's a disconnect. And being disconnected feels good to a lot of people, to a lot of us older people, you know, us boomers, or what did you call me? The silent generation? You fucker. And, you know, because we grew up without cell phones or even the telephone. So it's good to get away. It's good to unplug. And I think a lot of people, this is one of the things we've even talked about on the podcast, is a major event. We talk EMP, a major event of earthquake, war, something that downs the grid. You know that the majority of people are going to go haywire because they don't have their phones. They don't have information. I think it's the equivalent of putting somebody in a room and turning off the light and leaving them in the dark. Your imagination makes it so much worse than it is. And you having access to the news and Twitter and reports of what other people are going through instantly is gone.
Yeah, I mean, I have said before, I don't think humankind was ever intended to have this much access to the entire world at all times. I shouldn't be able to talk to someone in Korea right now with very
just the
little
way that
latency.
we're evolving as a species. Eventually we're just gonna be fucking VR'd up.
Well, my point is to say I don't think we were ever built to have that much communication with each other. It's proven to be a lot. No, I think we'll overcome it, and I think we'll figure it out, but it has definitely posed a lot of problems, especially with people being addicted to their phones. I do think that's very much a thing where everybody's recording everything. There's benefits and there's pros and cons, because the pros are like everything is recorded. Think of like a really big political moment that happened recently with Trump's attempted assassination. That was caught on so many different angles, and it's exposed so many lies from the Secret Service have been exposed by different camera angles of just people with their phones recording.
Which, and it's not just that incident,
but it kind of...
there's pros and cons.
If we use it right, like in that scenario, because I'm one who I always say never trust the government, right? I don't ever trust anybody who wants authority over me. Someone who wants to be in charge is either a nut or is a criminal. I don't ever want to be responsible for another human being. I don't want to be responsible for your well-being. I can't take care of you better. I can't take care of your family better than you can. And I don't want to pretend to. And these people in Washington, D.C., they love to pretend like they know what's better for you. And I don't care what party affiliation you're with. I'm speaking on both sides. We on the podcast have constantly said right wing, left wing, same bird. I'm not attacking anybody's political ideology. I'm attacking these politicians who've gotten rich, claiming that they're looking out for my best interest and my family's. And I'm sorry, but if you don't know me, if you don't see the struggle that I go through, you can't possibly do what's best for my family.
I was thinking about that this morning, how people who generally want power probably shouldn't have power, and it's usually the good leaders are usually the ones who didn't want it in the first place. It made me I was thinking back on like medieval kings and stuff like that, and realizing that they had the best situation out of everybody, compared to like common folk or like peasants who were in the street in literal feces. But at the same time, they had a responsibility that I cannot imagine. Like I struggle sometimes with the responsibility I have as a manager of a dog daycare. I cannot imagine being a noble, having to be responsible for thousands of human lives.
Form alliances. Now, this one, I liked this question because it's going to pose a conundrum to us all. Because all of us know, and we are all aware, that people pose the real problem to an apocalypse, right? Humans. In this case, they're all people, but the non-infected could be as much of a problem or more as the infected, right? That's what we all agree all the time.
Yes, although in this movie it proved a little different.
It did. So, forming alliances. The characters survive longer by forming alliances with other survivors. Working as a team provides security and different skill sets. So I wanted to ask you guys, what are some ways that working as a team is more beneficial than staying alone?
Well, first things first, you can't do everything on your own. I mean, there's very few people who can.
Can you elaborate detail? So you can't do everything on your own?
I want
some. Oh, okay.
There's people who can just go out into the forest and survive on their own. But if you're trying to rebuild civilization in any sort of capacity, if you're trying to create a survivor camp or anything like that, you can't do it on your own. You can't be the farmer and the person taking care of the animals and in charge of security and building walls and building houses and you just can't, and getting water. You can't do everything.
Right.
You have to have a group of people. That's why humans, we're pack animals. We're herd animals. We have to be around people. That's why we live in cities, and very few people live in rural areas by themselves. And even then, they usually live with a family who helps take care of the farm or whatever they do. Yeah. Humans, we're social creatures. We're not supposed to just be alone.
As small of a community as it is, it still needs to be a community.
Yeah, and I do want to say, I think this movie did illustrate the fact that shortly after an apocalyptic event, I do think people's humanity is still with them for the most part. I don't think humans become a problem for survivors until later, when humanity has pretty much, when like the humanity and people has died. I think right away there are going to be some people who are going to take advantage of it, but I think the mass majority of people are still in shocked trying to just stay alive mode.
Yeah.
And I think they're much more willing to work with somebody, maybe hesitantly, but I do think what was it, like a bar that they were held up in? Those people were like, we're going here, come with us.
Yeah.
Now,
So basically, you can't be everywhere at once. That's why teams are good. You may not be a farmer. You may not be great at building things. You may not be good at, a bunch of things, but you may be good at getting resources. So you can't do all of those things. So that's why you get people to do them for you. Stuff like that.
I have the winning answer.
What? It better be really good, because I was about to interrupt right now to say that TJ got the point.
I
so-
have the winning answer.
Go.
What if you get sick?
Oh, fuck.
We talked about it. You need to have a team, because if you get sick, you're dead. So you need people who can take care of you while
I
you're
would
sick,
like to
and then you
further
could do
point
vice
out
versa.
That coochie. If
I don't think that's as solid of an argument as mine.
settlement, I think it's a higher probability of coochie in the survival situations.
I'm
And
giving you
coochie is
both the
good for
point.
you.
He
I'm
got
giving
a
you
point
both
for
the
Coochie.
point. No, because he listed everything else. TJ almost listed my entire answer verbatim.
Well, because he just said everything
So-
I didn't.
The answer, what are some ways that working as a team is more beneficial than staying alone? In survival situations, collaboration can improve your chances. Group up with others who can help with defense, resource gathering, or strategic planning. You said defense and resource gathering. The strategic planning, nobody said, but I didn't actually have this on the list. You're getting a point where TJ had a point. You're getting a point because you listed something from our personal application that it was absolutely spot on. When you're sick in a zombie, both of us, we were sick the same week. You had food poisoning. I had the flu. And I said, oh my God, if I ever get the flu during the zombie apocalypse, I'm a goner. You said the same thing. One of our survivors had said, hey, that's why you need a group. Like, damn, good point.
Yeah.
Like the only thing I could think of doing in a zombie apocalypse, if I'm not in a fortified area, the only thing I could do is break into a home, go into the attic space, and hope I have enough water to survive the days that I'm sick.
Yeah.
You gotta be completely isolated.
I can just
to get well.
imagine him up in an attic, like sick as fuck, freezing cold, covering himself in insulation.
Fiberglass.
Yeah, just fiberglass.
Doesn't keep me warm.
Insulation.
It keeps the house warm.
Too sick to even be itchy.
Keeps the house warm.
It's
Gotta
like I'd
keep me
rather
warm.
be itchy than cold.
But I have a sleeping bag, so
Yeah.
that's what I would be walking with. All right, so I like all of that.
I'm not gonna
You guys
lie.
are both getting a point.
I'll take the point. I'm not complaining, Your Honor. What I will say though is that I did say that you can't do everything by yourself. You need
did.
people to build walls.
You did.
and
But
to build.
did
So
you
like
say
I feel like
Coochie?
I mentioned a lot of that. He didn't even give you a point for Coochie. Okay.
I think there's a little bit of a point for Coochie.
I look, TJ.
Oh, he's not denying it. Oh, this is fucking rigged.
I am married,
Okay, but
Okay.
hear me out. Hear me out.
and she listens to the podcast.
Okay,
so say
hear
something
me
very flattering
out.
to my wife.
Hearing you out.
If y'all need a Los Angeles dream home, you need to hit up Corinne Salas immediately because she is absolutely amazing. You can,
This guy's
she got
cooked.
a whole Instagram, I'm pretty sure, some stuff, and you
She
can
does.
go there.
I'm pretty
and-
sure.
She does. I love it.
Corinne Salas
pretty
at Next
sure.
Home Grandview. Check it out.
You got it,
guys.
TJ.
All right.
Ready?
Yeah.
Okay, this one goes to TJ, and I like this question. Avoid large groups. In the movie, large groups of phoners are especially dangerous. Avoiding them is crucial to survive. In any post-apocalyptic scenario, what are some examples of threats that large groups of people bring and give cause to be avoided? In what specific scenario would you stay in place? Now, you don't have to stay in the movie.
What are some examples of threats that large groups of people bring and give cause to be avoided?
Ooh,
Well,
me.
Eric, your beard is stupid.
This
Stop
guy didn't have an answer. This guy didn't study. I studied.
I would like
I
you to
did my
see.
homework.
I have this whole thing fucking
He's
filled out.
thinking.
Suck
He's
my
thinking.
ass.
Your
Okay,
Honor,
I
he's
would like.
thinking.
I would like to see if because I did these notes like 2 days ago. I'd like to see if I have
Your
any
Honor,
more thoughts.
That was
He
my
can't-
bad. That was
He can't
my
read his
bad.
handwriting, Your Honor.
I came back too late. You know, I was still ready to go, but you know, some people are like, oh, I gotta sleep. Jeez.
I don't work this week. I'm chilling.
TJ's like, oh, I have to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, dude, it's only fucking 2 a.m. What's wrong with you guys?
True.
Large
midnight,
groups
but-
of people
Large groups of people.
bring a lot of threats. If you're not forming alliances, how are you going to defend yourself from a large group of people? There's more people. They could do more damage. Come at you from all sides. That's that one. I couldn't really think of anything for that. In what specific scenario would you stay in place? I would say that if it's any sort of like nuclear attack, I think staying in place isn't the best thing. I think you need to go as far away from the, bomb zone as possible. I think if it's like an EMP, I think you need to already have your stuff stocked up. You got to always have extra food in your house for the shelter in place situations. I think an EMP would be the situation for that.
So you say EMP, you bug in.
Yeah. If it's like a natural disaster, like let's say an earthquake, shelter in place. Make sure you're in a really good spot where you're not going to get collapsed on by a building, and because in that situation there's a lot more dangers than just the ground shaking. Shit explodes, depending on the size of the earthquake. Craters will freaking form, and deep cracks in the earth. Tornadoes, stay in place. Zombies, don't stay mobile during that. You gotta be mobile up until the point of security. Then
I actually have a great tip. I have a great tip for tornadoes. Don't drive into them.
Yeah, actually, if you do drive into a tornado,
make sure you're filming.
I want to see if cows actually get sucked up, and do they moo as they go past you?
That now that's some research.
Cow, another cow. I think that's the same one.
In movies, they always as they're going past.
Yeah. Now this is where our tax dollars should be going.
Okay, but
Answering
I also
the
need to
real
know
questions.
during a tornado, do you get transported to a magical realm with
I did.
talking
Asking for a
scarecrows?
friend. I'm sorry. Okay,
Oh,
moving
it
on.
was a whole different kind of tornado.
What? No. Okay.
That was a great joke. I think that was hilarious. Good job, host.
Your Honor, he doesn't get it. He's just sucking your ass. Your Honor, I have answer.
Okay.
For question. So first of all,
So what I was
we all
saying
know-
was, no, I'm joking.
I swear, we all know The Walking Dead, right? My answer to
We all know what?
The Walking Dead.
So basically,
my
large
answer
groups
to
of
avoid large
zombies
groups
really
is
are
you idiot.
the
That's not even
worst
where I was going.
thing, because as they're moving, they can knock down your defenses.
Hey.
Your Honor, I want to point out this
Your
guy
Honor,
tried to steal
Your
my
Honor,
answer
Your Honor,
and
it's-
wasn't even
Your
fucking
Honor,
close.
I would like
getting
to
it.
argue that it is hilarious to bug Eric. Is it not? Is it not hilarious to bug him?
He just tried to steal my
This
answer.
is content.
He
for
wasn't
our
even close.
viewers. I'm thinking of the viewers.
He wasn't even close.
I'm trying to be unbiased here. Okay, let's let Eric answer.
Do we remember the governor
Go on, Eric.
and Negan
Go on, Eric.
In The Walking Dead,
in The Walking Dead?
absolutely,
I think that's a
probably
reason,
one of the best villains.
I think
in
that's
the-
a reason
in the
to
series.
avoid large groups. Because when you say large groups, I'm not thinking of even in Cell. I'm not thinking of the infected. I'm thinking of people. I think large groups of people are not always bad, but it is. I don't know. It's kind of concerning because there's a lot of power there. And you got to really know, like, who's leading that power, who is in charge of all that power. Because someone like the governor or Negan is not using it for good.
It's always, like Eric said, it's always the people who want to be in power that always end up being the worst.
Well, I said that.
Oh, yeah. Our great host.
I said that.
Our great host actually said that, Eric. I heard him say that. Yeah, reload the clip. Reload the clip.
I said that.
I'm gonna
Reload the clip.
I'm gonna roll back that. At
Roll
this
back the
point,
clip.
editor note. I'm gonna replay who said it.
Editor, no, I'm gonna replay who said it. Okay, buddy, you're not the one editing here. I am, the great TJ. Now back to our regularly scheduled program.
I kind of monologued that when I said anybody who wants to be in power is either a madman, a nut, or a criminal.
Madman as in they got the whole
I don't even remember you
squad
saying that.
saying I am Negan. That's some crazy cult shit.
That is some crazy cold shit. And then any
heads in the
specific
closet.
scenario that I would stay in place, I think if you're in a rural area, like particularly a farmhouse or something, hunker down. You're as far away from, I mean, unless you're like right on the outskirts of the town. But if you're like in the middle of fucking fuck nowhere, Ohio, then yeah, maybe just chill in the cornfields or something.
Your Honor, I'd like to point out that a farmhouse is my most perfect place to be at because I will make moats.
Oh,
And I will
actually,
also
I take
make
it back.
Home Alone traps, and I will have plans.
Yeah, I take it back. I also have the winning answer for this one as well. I would stay
also
still
like to point out
if I was in a houseboat.
That's the scenario.
Okay, but like, hear me out.
The will you survive houseboat.
Where are you getting?
I would stay put.
Food?
The food? I'm fishing.
Fish.
What?
Where's the houseboat?
On a lake. We've already discussed this. We're gonna pick a lake between where you live and where we live.
Show me your fishing rod right now, Eric. Go get it.
Oh my God, we're gonna be on a lake, dude. You don't think there's
Now I
gonna be a
have
lake house
no
with a fishing
doubt
rod?
that our humble
Dude.
host has a fishing rod somewhere.
I don't anymore, but you know what? I have fished with freaking stick and string.
Exactly. You wouldn't have thought of that, Eric.
I'm a great fisherman.
You're so lucky to be in
He
the
is
room
really
with this
good.
man.
I'm a
Learn
really good
from this
fisherman.
man. No, you're not.
He is really
yes,
good.
I used to have like an expensive ass tackle box.
You need to
before
fish
I got
that
lost.
caterpillar off of your face.
I had a bone cutting.
There are 3. 2 are attacking your eyes, and one
Why
is attacking
have
your
these
upper
last few episodes? You have just been at my throat. What is up?
lip. That's how I like it. Oh.
Oh, who got the point?
I think what he said is he doesn't like being choked.
Whose point is this?
Well, he really
That's
has no
yours.
neck to choke.
Thank you.
So
You got the point in this one. All right.
Who got the point?
We have time. We
I
have time
did.
for one
Oh,
one
why
more
did
quick
he
one.
get the point? I feel like I could have got the point, but that's fine.
Because I said houseboat. That's why.
Well, it was the houseboat, but my total answer, what I was looking for, he got closest to. In any apocalyptic scenario, large groups of people or threats should be avoided unless you're in a fortified area. Nobody said that. Well, he did when he said houseboat.
Even then, I
Fortified
feel
area.
like don't fuck with it.
Crowds can attract danger, and one of our survivors actually said this. So shout out survivor who got disease, because that was one of the things that I had. Crowds can attract danger or increase the spread of infection, panic, or violence. And both of you kind of hinted at the violence. But Eric actually hinted at the, he didn't say directly infection, but he got close. And all right.
Final question.
Final one. We got time for one more. Stay vigilant and adaptable. This is my favorite one because this is what we have talked about a lot on the podcast is staying vigilant and adapting to your survival.
Your Honor, this question is the one I studied the most.
Oh, look at this. Here we go. But TJ gets to answer first. So, the situation in Cell constantly evolves, with the phoners becoming more organized over time. Survivors need to adapt quickly to new threats. In any survival situation, adaptability and awareness are crucial. What challenges and changes should you be prepared to experience?
Good luck, TJ.
Okay, so I'd like to opening point. Eric is a little bitch. For the rest of the question, in any survival situation, adaptability and awareness are crucial. What challenges and changes should you be prepared to experience? Challenges, I would say weather. I would say, like Eric said, sickness. You can never be like too careful with that. You always need to be prepared. Always washing your hands. Always, stuff like that. And really, you can't really be aware of everything. So that's why you should always be prepared. You should always adapt. You don't know anything, So you should always be prepared to adapt to situations. That's all I really got.
Yeah. Going back to actually, I think it was either the first or the second question when we talked about like hunkering down. I read a comment on the live stream. One of our survivors was saying like being in a building, it's easy to get overrun. But one thing I thought about it, I just didn't say it, is that you should always have an escape plan, some sort of escape route. And I think that's part of being prepared and
I'd like
staying
to say
aware.
that you read that from one of our commenters on the live stream. I'm just saying, didn't come
Well,
with some idea.
No, I read the concern. I already had the idea. I just didn't say it. About we've already talked about in previous episodes. You need to always have an escape plan, no matter where you're at. And I think that's part of being prepared and staying vigilant. Is always knowing your escape routes, always knowing your exits.
Exactly what I said.
Never walking into a situation with no knowledge. At least trying to prevent that as much as possible.
You don't know
because I don't
anything.
think that's
Always be prepared.
yeah. I don't think it's realistic. Now, when it comes to challenges, I think the main ones you need. Weather's actually one I didn't think about. That one's really good, but kind of ties into food and water. I think you need to be ready for food and water shortages because as humans, we've gotten very comfortable with the fact that we can just go to a grocery store and get food. I can go to the corner store and get food or get a drink. I can turn on the tap and get water. You can't do that in an apocalypse. So you need to be much more concerned about preserving your food, keeping a supply of food, keeping a supply of clean water, because that's going to be, I think, for a lot of people, surprisingly difficult to maintain. So I think those are things you need to be ready to adapt for. Because what happens if deer stop coming around your area and that was your main source of food? You need to be able to adapt. You either need to move camp to somewhere where the deer are, or you need to send hunting parties further in one direction, trying to look for them. Whatever it be, I don't know that much about deer hunting, but whatever your situation may be, odds are you're going to face some sort of food or water shortage at some point. And you need to be ready for that.
I'd also like to point out that you will also be facing situations such as you will not have access to health care. You need to be prepared to have things at your disposal to help yourself because there are no doctors or nurses to help you. So always have
last thing,
EpiPen, medications that you need, freaking bandages, just a whole med kit. You need that.
Last thing you want is for somebody to get hurt, and nobody thought about what if somebody gets hurt.
You twist your ankle. And you're by yourself.
So I think that's also part of being vigilant and adaptable. Like you're never going to avoid injury completely, but you can at least try to not put yourself in dumb situations. Although most of the time when people hurt themselves, it's in retrospect that you look at it and go, "Yeah, that was a dumb situation." It's
like
never
jumping off a roof.
I may or may not have been thinking of a particular instance, where maybe a host jumped off a roof and hurt both of his ankles.
Fucking TJ.
I can't believe when TJ did that.
Why'd you think you could do that?
Do what?
At your advanced age.
I am 24. I'd also like to say that you should always be prepared to adapt to
God damn,
not having shelter. You should always, you're not always going to have something to cover your head. You always got to be prepared to make that yourself or know where some sort of shelter could be.
And then I think my last point on this is about just being vigilant and adaptable. Which is like, it's the main part of the whole fucking question. But I think something that's kind of maybe underthought about is that you're going to have to be on your toes 24/7. You don't get to relax anymore. You don't ever get to really just sit down and just chill. Things are out to kill you at all times. We're no longer at the top of the food chain in a situation like Cell or any zombie scenario, something like that. We're not at the top of the food chain. We're being hunted. So I think it's going to take flipping that switch in your mind that says, I am now the hunted. I need to be on guard at all times. My ears need to always be listening. I need to sleep with one eye open.
No, I'm always at the top of the food chain. I'm going to turn this bitch into Terminus from Walking Dead.
I think...
All right. And with that wonderful, lovely comment,
Your Honor, I think TJ dies.
let me announce our winner. I'm going to announce who got that point. I actually gave the point to Eric, TJ. The reason why I gave
That's
the point
3, baby.
to Eric is there were 3 specific things I was looking for. You actually pointed out 2. He pointed out all 3. It was environment, threats, and available resources. Now, you did
I said
say
weather.
available resources after, that's where weather was environment. And the staying alert and flexible and that's, being alert and flexible is the difference between life and death in these types of, any type of apocalyptic scenario. And with that gives us TJ got avoid technology. He got a point for form alliances. Eric got a point for stay mobile, form alliances, avoid large groups, and stay vigilant and adaptable.
But do I
So
get a point
Eric is
for
our winner.
making your balaclava though? That's crazy.
Well,
I'm
you're
just saying.
definitely gonna get props for that when we're able to, help our.
But
what
do
not
I get an
help, what's
extra
the word?
point if Eric didn't get the podcast out on time this Friday?
No.
That's
Okay.
crazy. I got mine out
Listen here.
last Friday, right on time,
Listen
baby.
here.
And he didn't
There
even.
was-
he was like, "I thought
there-
you did it." In no way.
there-
You've never put up the podcast. Why
Oh,
would he
no,
even
okay.
think that?
You don't know the situation, okay? I walked into the kitchen. He was sitting there's like a little office attached to our kitchen. He was sitting at the desk with his computer open. We were talking about the episode. He pulls it up and I was like, "Oh wait, I don't think I actually uploaded it yet. Like it's in there. The file is uploaded. It's just not published yet." And so he looked at it and I could have sworn I saw him hit publish, but he didn't. So that's my bad. I messed up. My bad.
It really is
Well,
your bad because our honor
I mean,
would never do such a thing.
To be fair, but one thing that I will say in regards to this, I did not publish, and the reason why I didn't publish is Eric was telling me he doesn't like the way the descriptions were written, and so I was looking at it, and we were reading it. He was reading it to me, and he goes, "Yeah, I usually change those. I don't like the way they're written like that." So I was like, "Oh, well." I was telling him, don't reduce the quantity of words, just rewrite it to your liking. But we want more words because Google actually likes more text.
So you know what AI will do though? So in our description, it'll have something like something we just said right now. It'll literally say at the end of a paragraph, it'll be like, "And listen as we discuss how AI adds weird words in description." It'll say something like that, and I'm like, that's not part of the description of the episode.
I'm not arguing that. I was just saying when you rewrite it, try not to take down. Like I don't mean don't take out words. I just mean don't
add
reduce.
words in place of it. That's
a
a lot of work. But yeah, I know what you mean.
It doesn't need to be perfect, and I don't need you to, if it's quote unquote 500 words, I don't need you to keep it 500 words. I'm just trying to mean like keep it generally close. So with that, let's say thank you to all of our survivors for tuning in live, listening to our rants and raves.
Can I give a winner speech?
Huh?
Can I give a winner speech?
Go ahead.
I won this because I'm the superior scholar, and I think everybody knows that. I took my time to research. But now that I am the winner and the confirmed host of the next episode, I must admit that last question, I didn't have shit for. I was like, we'll just see what happens, because I read that shit like 5 times and couldn't think of jack shit to say. So I'm impressed I got that point. I'm happy with the outcome. I'll be here next week.
But with that, thank you all for tuning in to another episode of Will You Survive the Podcast. And as you watch the movie Cell, go through and ask yourself some of these questions. And of course, you got to ask yourself if you would survive Cell. And stay tuned to all of our other episodes. We just released a Quiet Place recently, and we have a trove of about 53 other episodes that you can binge. We have been listed as the number one survival podcast in Good Pod's top 100 monthly chart. And we've actually made it up to number 2 on their TV chart, on their how-to chart, and I believe it was also on their horror chart. We're number 2
Bro,
on their
Good Pods
podcast.
loves us, and we love Good Pods.
Heck yeah. But you can also find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, TuneIn, Amazon. Remember, if you have TuneIn Amazon, you can tell your Amazon, play Will You Survive the Podcast, and you will get us right there.
I feel like somebody's Amazon just went off.
For all of our, that's probably true. For all of our
Alexa,
subscribers,
buy 20 Tampax tampons.
Alexa, subscribe to Will You Survive the Podcast?
all of our subscribers, remember, you get access to our private Discord channels where we will engage with you. We chat with you on the Discord. I also release exclusive videos for you, whether I'm sorry, I'm looking at the Discord right now, and TJ put up some funny videos of Eric, or funny pictures of Eric. So that's the kind of stuff that goes on the Discord. It's a funny nonsense.
Turn those
so
into memes,
make sure
please.
you check us out. We also have some other social media. We're on TikTok. We're on Instagram, Facebook. And remember, email us your recommendations and anything that you would like us to cover. If you have a movie recommendation for us, send it to theboys, THEBOYS, at willyousurvivethepodcast.com. And let us know what you would like to cover. And all the while, you can go through, listen to all of our other episodes, tell us what you think. Please leave us comments on Apple Podcasts, text us on Spotify.
Leave us 5-star ratings.
5-star ratings. Everybody, let's get up to #1 on all charts. Let's beat Joe Rogan on
And I'm
Spotify.
going to keep saying it, everybody.
Sure.
Remember, if you want to send me $1,000, I will get your name tattooed on me.
I feel like this is not the best thing to be
I
promoting.
really want Josh to do it.
Josh,
We
I'm
gotta-
telling you, I will get
everybody-
Josh on my freaking kneecap or
No.
something.
Okay,
That's
wait.
not the name you get to put. That is not the name you get to
Josh,
put.
your #1 official fan.
Your #1 official
Or
fan.
Fan official.
Oh, yeah.
Well, okay. So
Your #1 fan official 2.
So here's the thing. This is not $1,000 that goes to Will You Survive.
It's $1,000
This
that
is
goes to
just
me.
a TJ thing.
I don't care.
Like, well, no, I just
If
want
he
this
has
to be
to sit
clear
there
for the
and
survivors. This is just something TJ is offering. Will You Survive has nothing to do with this.
Oh, that's true.
This is just TJ's offer.
It is true. But he still has to get Josh's screen name put on him. Your #1 fan official
Screen name,
2.
or I'll get his profile.
Yeah, we
picture.
got to start a GoFundMe for Josh just to get him $1,000 so that TJ has to put your #1 fan official on his body. That would be comical.
It would be
guys.
quite the spectacle. Are we? I think we're done. We're
We
done.
got it. You can find us on everything.
Didn't
Apple
you already say that?
Podcasts.
I think he already said all.
I've
he already
signed
said
all of
that.
those.
and until
The only
next
thing
time.
left to say, until next time.
You're gonna
Stay
I can't
alive,
believe
brother. Get that bread, get that money. Send me $1,000. I'll put your name on me. And I love y'all. Goodbye.